Crawford Heights is the latest BTO project in the Kallang area. This is the only prime project in this batch, which means that it comes with the 10-year MOP, cannot rent out the whole unit even after MOP, and got the highest subsidy recovery percentage, which is at 9%. But it's not really a surprise that this project is classified as prime though, because the location is really close to the CBD area with many amenities. If you recall, previously the government announced that they would pilot this wide flat open concept where the flat has fewer internal walls. This is that project. Now let's talk about pricing. You can see the price range here excludes grants, and I have also added the price after the grant. To help you assess whether these BTO prices are reasonable or not, I have also added the transacted prices of nearby resale flats of similar types. Feel free to pause the video if you want to see the numbers in detail. There's no comparable resale flat nearby for 3-room, but for 4-room, the price gap between the highest BTO price versus the highest resale flat in the same area is actually not that big, roughly around $179,000. So the percentage of the price gap is also relatively small. For example, for a 4-room flat, the gap is only 24%, which is quite modest considering the first seller will be subjected to a 9% subsidy recovery. It's not exactly estimated gross profit because this is the price of today's resale flat and not the future price after MOP. But assuming the housing price in Singapore will continue to increase, this will give you a rough idea of the potential profitability of this project. It's not a surprise that the flat prices at Crawford Heights are high, primarily because of its location. If we look at other 4-room flats from other projects in this batch, you can see that in theory, there are many other projects with higher profit potential. For example, Towner Breeze, which is also located at Kallang Whampoa area, has a higher percentage of 65% price gap and slightly lower subsidy recovery rate at 8%. And Kallang View even has a higher percentage of price gap at 72% and faster waiting time at 43 months. But then again, only Crawford Heights offer the wide flat option. Towner Breeze and Kallang View only offer standard configuration, so it really depends on what's important to you. Now, let's talk about the location. The land plot sits between North Bridge Road and Crawford Street, which makes it a very strategic location. According to dooder, you can reach the downtown CBD area in under 10 minutes if you drive. For amenities, the North Bridge Road Market and Food Center is just across the street. Golden Mile, Kampong Glam, and Jalan Sultan area are just a short bus ride away. If you are wondering where's the closest MRT station, according to the map, the nearest MRT station is Lavender, which is around 6 minutes walk from the site. Okay, what about the view? From the map, it seems like some of the flats here will have the Marina Reservoir view and overlook the National Stadium, even though from afar. That is, of course, assuming you can get a high floor unit in the right style. Because this project sits so close to the CBD area, the trade-off is there is no primary or secondary school nearby. I'm sure there are preschools somewhere around here, but be prepared that most likely it's not going to be cheap. So the lack of school options is something that parents need to think about. Even if you don't have a young child yourself, this will limit your future potential buyers when it's time for you to sell. Now let's look at the site plan. If you want to see Marina Bay, you need to get a unit above level 16 at stack 105, 107, and 109. If it's lower than that, your view will be blocked by the next building. If you want to see the Kallang River towards the Singapore Sports Hub, then you can apply for stack 101 or 103, but again, it has to be on a high floor. Since there is only one block, all stacks are outward facing. Certain units may be affected by the west sun, but not directly. Watch out that there's multi-story car park here, so if your options are limited, try to get a unit at least higher than the top of the car park. In terms of lifts, 8 units will be sharing 6 lifts, so it's still decent. There will be a preschool on the first floor of the car park, so this is good news for parents. Okay, let's do a quick recap. The key selling point of this project is obviously the location, as it is near the CBD area and within walking distance to Lavender MRT station. You have a lot of amenities and don't need to waste much time commuting. Other than that, I also grew to appreciate the wide flat option, especially after I learned that HDB actually allows you to reno your flat as dual key unit. This way, you can live on one side and rent out the other side. The passive income potential is amazing. I would have retired early with that strategy. If you are lucky enough to get a unit on a very high floor, you stand a chance to get a view of Marina Bay or the Kallang River. Okay, now let's talk about the downside. As mentioned, because this project sits so close to the CBD area, the trade-off is there is no primary or secondary school nearby. So that's something to think about, especially if you have young children or thinking about having kids. Even if it's not a problem for you, this will limit your future potential buyers when it's time for you to sell. Another downside is all of the limitations that come with a prime project. The 10-year MOP, cannot rent out the whole unit even after MOP, buyers are subjected to income ceiling, subsidy clawback upon resale, etc. And because of how this flat is priced and the aggressive subsidy recovery, it does limit your future potential profit. If your main objective is to build wealth, it would be strategic to consider other projects. The flat type offered here is also limited to 3-room and 4-room flat, but to be fair, this has been a consistent trend lately where 5-room flats are typically not offered in strategic location. Another downside I would say is although this project is not next to an expressway, it is surrounded by busy streets. So if you are looking for a peaceful environment, this project is not for you. If you want more insights about other projects, check out my other videos in this channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!